Scout reports, how to read them, what to focus on, and then how to break the guy down after you finish going through the report. That's what we're going to be looking at here. Hi, and welcome to Red Evony. I am Akayasha. You can call me Aka. Okay, now this video is going to be broken down into two parts. The first part of the video, we're going to go through the basics of reading scout reports, what you need to focus on, and then we're going to give you tips on how to break down your enemy based on the information that you've gained from the scout report. So that's the first part. For the second part of the video, oh boy, you guys are in for a real treat. For the first time ever, we have guests on the Red Evony channel. I have with me two mystery YouTubers, okay? I'm not going to tell you who they are. You're going to have to guess that later. Now, these esteemed mystery YouTubers are going to sit down with me and I'm going to present to them several scout reports. And these guys are going to use their experience to walk us through how they analyze scout reports and break down the enemy based on the scout report. This is a great opportunity for you to get close-up insights from players with experience on reading scout reports. And you'll be very hard-pressed to find anything like this anywhere. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a snack, and let's learn and enjoy throughout this video. So, when you get a scout report like this, the first thing that you want to look at once you get the report is whether there are troops in there or not. So you just look here and see whether there are troops. That's the first thing. The next thing you do is to look at the general's power. So you look at the general, see how much power he has. In this case, 6.4 million. And since these two are very close together, it's very easy for you to check this out. Now, the next thing that you want to look at, before you look at anything else, is to scroll down and check whether there are reinforcements in this keep. As you can see here, there are no reinforcements. So that's good. Now, these three things that we have gone through are the first red flags that will tell you whether you should be attacking this keep or not. In addition to that, by the time you've checked out these three things, it will also be helping you make up your mind whether you should solo or you should rally this keep. Okay, now, after you've gone through those three things, the next thing that you want to look at is the troops themselves. Okay, so you want to check and see what kind of troops is this guy working with. How many calves does he have? How many ground troops? Okay, what level are they? Then you look at the layers. You go all the way down. And then you check out for the T1s. How many does he have? What kind of T1s does he have? Ground or calves? And you do this analysis to help you determine what you're going to attack with. In addition to that, you could also scroll down and look at the troop buffs. This is not particularly necessary, but in some situations, it's helpful to have a look at the buffs so you know what's going on. Through this entire process, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind is your own capability. What are you able to do? How well do you match up with this opponent that you've just looked at? And if you need to rally, how strong are the alliance mates that you guys might be able to break this down? You will need to keep that in mind when you are analyzing these scout reports. And this entire process that we've gone through, by the time you gain enough experience, you will literally be able to go through this entire process in a matter of seconds. So those are the basics of what you need to know when you are reading a scout report. Now, based on the scout report, how do you go about breaking down an enemy? So we have another scout report here, and this is in non-keep situations. Okay, so when you're playing in buildings, basically. Now we have this report, and what you want to look at to determine how you break this guy down is first to look at the troop type. Okay, what kind of troops do we have here? Now we see the general. He has Minamoto and Charles as the assistant. So you're expecting archers on this one. You look at the troops, you see archers. T14 archers, T13 archers, and the rest layers. Okay, so this is an archer march that is in this building. To counter this, you would want to send in your ground march. If, for example, we had calves in here with a general like Napoleon, you would want to send in your archer march. Okay, that's how it goes. The next important point that you want to look at when you're breaking down enemies in non-keep situations is you want to look at the general's power, okay? And then you want to look at the march size, okay? How many troops does he have in there? Because these two things are the red flags that will let you know whether you can attack this building or whether you should solo or you should rally. Now, if the general's power is much higher than yours and the person's march size is significantly higher than yours, then you're facing an uphill battle if you are looking at soloing this particular building. And those situations do happen. In that case, you might want to look at rallying instead of doing a solo. So those are quick things that you can determine in a matter of seconds. The next thing that you want to look at when you are looking at these non-keep situations is whether there are reinforcements in there. And as we scroll down, you can see it here. This particular building is reinforced. Now, if there are no reinforcements, based on the information that we got from this march alone, we will be able to take this thing. But because there are reinforcements in there, you need to take a pause and look at what exactly is in there with these troops. So we scroll down and we can see we have the first set of reinforcements, which looks like a ground march. Okay, we scroll down all the way and then we see a second set of reinforcements. This one looks like calves. We scroll down to see if there are any more. Yes, they are. And this one is siege. So this particular building has the main guy that we looked at with the archer march and 3 other people reinforcing it. We have archers, we have ground, we have calves, and we have siege in here. For most people, this would be a hard stop, meaning that you will not be able to solo this. You will probably be looking at a rally. And based on your own power and the power of your alliance mates, what marches they have that are strong, you can then determine whether you will be able to successfully rally this building or not. That's basically what you need to go through when you are looking at non-keep situations. Now, we have another report here, okay? This time, we're looking at a keep. And we go through the process that I mentioned earlier. We look at the troops. The troops, 100 plus million, okay? This one looks like it might have T1s, but it's got troops in there. That's cool. Then we look at the general's power. George Dewey with 3.6 million. Now, depending on your capabilities, you will be able to tell whether you can attack this keep successfully or not. For myself, looking at this report, I would probably be very happy to take this. I think I could take this easily enough. Then, what do? We scroll down to look for the reinforcements because that's another red flag. We see there, no reinforcements. That's good. This one is looking like we're good to go. Now, the next thing you'd want to do in this situation is to look for points of focus, okay? Focus points for you to attack. Typically in Evony, the first focus points that you would want to be looking for are either calves or siege. That's what your eyes should be zeroing in for. Are there calves in this keep? Is there siege in this keep? And how much of it do they have? Now, we're looking at this one here. This one has got calves, T14 calves. That looks good. Little T13 and very little under that. Okay, so we look at this and we have a focus point to attack. We've got calves. Siege, not much siege in there, so siege will probably be out of the consideration. We'll be looking to hit this with archers, okay? Then we scroll down. We take a look at the T1s, okay? There are a few T1s in there, but based on your capabilities, you should be able to determine whether you can take this or not. Okay, so that's the preliminary assessment of this report. If, for example, it didn't have calves and the main troops in there were ground, okay, we'd be looking to hit this with a calf march. If there was siege in there, we'd want to hit it with siege. And here's a tip. If you are going to hit with siege, it is usually helpful to scroll down and look at the siege buffs. Okay, we have them here. For me, personally, the only time I really look at buffs are when I'm attacking with siege. So that's a tip I'm giving to you guys. And of course, if you want to attack a keep and you are in doubt on what to use, send archers. Okay? Archers are usually all-purpose, and by the time you hit it with archers, it will give you a good idea of what else you need to follow with. So that's basically how we would go about breaking down this enemy based on this scout report, which is exactly what I did. So here was the first attack, and you can see the power exchange. I attacked with archers, okay? The archers did some good work. They cleared out the top level calves, took some more additional troops in there. We go all the way down, and we can see that the archers did some work on the T1s, okay? So that reduced it a bit. That's fine. Then I followed up with a second attack. This time I used ground, okay? And you can see the power exchange. Based on the information that we got in the scout report, I determined that I could solo this with 1 or 2 hits, and that's exactly what happened. So with that, you should be caught up on the basics that you need to know when you are viewing scout reports. If you still have any questions about this or things that you're not sure of, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Now, we come to the part that you've been waiting for. We're going to sit down with our mystery YouTubers and we're going to look at some scout reports and try and break it down with them. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, guys. We have our mystery YouTuber number 1. How you doing, bro?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. And we have mystery YouTuber number 2. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well.
All right, that's good. Thank you guys for hopping on this with me. Really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Excited to be here.
All right. Yes. We're going to do this. Okay. So here's the drill. I'm going to show you guys several reports. Okay. We're going to go through them. Don't worry. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. And, basically I'm going to ask you guys some questions and you tell me what you think. You tell me how you break down the reports, and yeah, we take it from there. Just to let everyone know your thought process when you pick up a scout report and you're deciding what to do with it. Is that all good?
That sounds great.
Okay.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So here we have scout report number 1. Okay. And
okay.
Yeah. So the first question I'm going to ask you guys, you tell me to scroll through the scout report, any parts you want to see. And the first thing I'm going to ask you is solo or rally. Okay. So mystery YouTuber number 1, what would you like to see in this scout report?
Well, first thing I want to look at is see if you've got a reinforcement. So I want you to scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
And I've already noticed you've got 240 million troops.
Okay.
100 and some million T1s, no reinforcements.
Okay.
Buffs are really low.
Mm-hmm.
Traps I'm not worried about.
Mm-hmm.
170 million T1 warriors. Scroll back up to the top. I think it was Monarch 37. All right. And you got Sharjar as your assistant. So yeah, I would definitely do this as a solo.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And what's the main reason why you think you would solo this?
Well, for myself personally, I've got a K45 or 44, and I can definitely do a ground solo on this, given the troop types. Even though it's got calves, my buffs are strong enough to clear this.
Okay. All right. That's great. That's great. So, mystery YouTuber number 2. This same report, solo or rally?
Well, for me, being the capacity that I am, I'm only a lonely K40. I would recommend a rally on this personally. And I think I would have better results doing a rally compared to someone a little bit bigger than me.
Okay. Okay.
And the
That's
reason being is just because the rally is a guaranteed clear.
fine. Okay. All right. That's cool. So, now the next question is, how would you break this down? Mystery YouTuber number 1. How would you break this down?
So scroll down to the troop types there.
Okay.
Let's just see what other T14s. So
This okay?
I'm looking at troop volumes at the top. So top level troops. Typically, I would look at this one, and you're seeing T14 calves. You've got is the major one. So you'd probably be best to do an arch attack, but for a solo, I would actually do this as a ground solo for myself,
Okay.
just because of the troop volumes.
Okay. And
And
you're
the other reason
confident?
I'm doing ground solo is I'm looking at the T1 ground, and
Okay.
I'm going to match my ground to his or her ground. So the T1 ground is actually going to push me to do ground.
Okay.
If I did a arch, they're anticipating probably they probably think they're a T1 trap that can take a solo. And I'm pretty confident I could clear this.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you. So, mystery YouTuber number 2. How would you break this down?
So basically, as the same as what mystery YouTuber number 1 just said, I'd take a look at the top players here and kind of calculate what would I suggest as a rally. And personally, which I could be wrong, but I would suggest either a ground rally or even a cav rally against this, just because of the T1 trap aspect of it, to push through those T1s.
Right. So, apart from what we have discussed so far, is there anything else that you would usually check for this kind of report?
And this is mystery guest number 1. I think the main thing I would be looking at is am I in SVS? Am I in battlefields? It really depends. Obviously, if you're in battlefields, you may want to do a rally to get additional points for your teammates. If I'm in SVS, I'm worried about, is somebody speed raining? Is somebody, doing a swap and other things? So there's a lot of things that would go in differently to my thought process if I'm going to make that solo or a rally. So I think that's the situational things that'll change how you read those reports and how much detail you get into.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mystery YouTuber number 2, any last words on this particular report?
Nothing outside the ordinary. The things that kind of stick out to me, personally, is what do they have for siege, and being a ground trap. I'm not too worried about the siege. I think ground would push through that just fine if we did a ground rally on it.
All right. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. That's great. Now, let's bring up the next report. So we have the next scout report here. And as you can see, this one is a bit chunkier. Okay. It's a bit chunkier than the last one. So I'm going to ask you guys again, solo or rally? This time, let's start with mystery YouTuber number 2. Okay. So anything you want me to show you in this report before you make up your mind on what to go with?
I would definitely take a look at their T1, T2, and T3 layers, considering they have Queen Bee Boudica as their main wall gen.
Okay, so let's scroll down there.
Because it seems like they're pretty thin on their mid-sized layers. So yeah, definitely a cav trap for sure. I don't know what's up with the ground, but I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that they don't really have many ground flat refines. And then I would also take a look at the upper layers as well.
Okay, let's scroll to the upper layers. All right, there we go.
So this, to me, is screaming a Archer rally, even though they have a lot of T1 ground. The Queen, with having Queen Boudica over there, I'm just going to go ahead and assume, without knowing her refines, that a pretty good Archer rally could take this out.
Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, so mystery YouTuber number 1. You look at this report, solo or rally?
I would definitely choose a solo or a rally or a 2-tap solo.
Okay.
I'd actually want to make sure it didn't have reinforcements, but I assume it didn't.
Okay.
But based on
control and
what
check.
Mystery YouTube number 2 said,
Yeah.
it's basically a cav trap
Mhm.
and no reinforcements. I assume Flat Refines, Boudica, and Williams, they're actually probably set up for trying to defend against that Archer rally, but then that just really comes down to the buffs and the team that you got together to make that rally.
Mm.
But I would actually, if I was going to do a rally, I would actually do a cav rally on this.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So
Just because of the number of T14 ground and T13 ground.
Okay. So let's talk about the next part that we wanted to get to, which is how you would break this down. Okay. So, mystery YouTuber number 1, from what you're saying, okay, you think you might go with a cav rally on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I would either look at a cav rally or I would do a siege solo followed by a cav solo.
Okay. Siege solo is interesting. How come?
Really a point differential. So I'm looking to get those points again in SVS. I definitely want to go after this trap with a siege solo, and I would use heavy T13, T12 in my march, and then I'm trying to take out those upper level siege to be able to get those points. So there's about 4 million troops there that I probably can kill, as well as probably all the way down to the 9s and 8s with one solo.
Okay. Out of curiosity, what are your siege buffs like?
I've got a siege solo buff close to 3,500 attack.
Okay. Because one of the things that I tell people is that don't do solo siege unless you have high enough buffs.
Yeah.
That's one of the advice I give people. Okay, all right, that's good. So we have a ground, siege solo followed by a cav rally on this one. All right, that's fine. So mystery YouTuber number 2, how would you go about breaking this down?
So for me, being much smaller, I see a little bit of potential here where I might be able to get away with doing like a range solo just to pick away some of the upper tier calves here for some points, possibly depending on their buffs. But otherwise, if this was coming into SVS, personally, I would just suggest my team to go ahead and just do a rally. And in that aspect, to me, I know if I got 4 or 5 of my guys, we could clear this pretty easily with a rally and get some good points out of it and not sacrifice so many points to the enemy team. And with that, I would still go with, I could be wrong, but I would still go with a range rally here, just to try and get rid of the cav. And if I needed to, I would follow up most likely with a cav rally afterwards if I had a problem with the ground.
Okay, that's good. I think, considering the power of my alliance, I think that's probably the route I would go. I can't solo this. Okay, I can't solo this. So if I were to break this down, I would definitely go with a rally. And considering the number of calves in here and my alliances, strength and weaknesses, I'll probably go with a range rally first, and then maybe cav or ground, depending on what's still alive in there. So, and that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. But cav rally, mystery YouTuber number 1, that was very interesting. We usually don't see many people starting off with that.
Yeah, it comes down to the buffs in your team that's approaching it. And if I had the right people online at the time, definitely a cav rally. I find that these cav traps are trying to set you up to hit with Arch, so they're going to try to maximize their point against Arch or ranged attacks. And especially with those T1 ground, I think a cav would do better.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the team and the buffs.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. So that's everything for this particular report. Now I'm gonna bring up the next report, and I must warn you guys. Okay, this next report has got a few tricks in the sleeve.
Mm.
Sounds interesting.
So
Mm.
this is the next report that I want us to look at. Okay, and I want you to take 10 seconds. Okay, maybe not even 10 seconds, 5 seconds. All right, tell me solo or rally on this one. Mystery YouTuber number 1, 5 seconds, solo or rally.
Solo.
Okay. Mystery YouTuber number 2, solo or rally.
Solo.
Okay. Anything else you want to see in this report?
Reinforcements.
Yes, reinforcements. I agree on that one. Yes.
There it is. There it is.
The trick. That's why you always look. You don't just send.
Yeah. Yeah. So soloing this one, it's probably Splat City. But let's look at the reinforcements. Okay. So this is what this guy has.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Let's go through so we can see everything that it has. This is the next one. Okay. Yeah. So those 2 reinforcements. Now, I'll ask you guys again. Solo or rally?
Rally.
Yes, I would personally not solo that. I would definitely suggest a rally as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good. Now, if you are going to rally, what are you going to rally with? Mystery YouTuber number 1, what would you rally with?
I would rally that with a ground rally.
Okay. Mystery YouTuber number 2, what would you rally with?
I would agree with mystery YouTuber number 1 that is a ground rally.
Okay. 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 All right. Let's go to the next report. So this is the next report that we have. Mystery YouTuber number 2,
Yes.
solo or rally on this one? What would you like to see? No time pressure, no nothing. What would you like to see on this report to answer solo
No
or
time
rally?
pressure.
Yes, no time pressure.
Just off the judging it off their generals, I would think they're possibly, a ground/siege type of
Okay.
keep. And I'm assuming probably if I were to see without looking at it, maybe they have a good amount of T1 ground, but I would definitely like to see the reinforcements.
Okay.
Also what they have for the T1 layers.
All right. So let's go to the reinforcements. Reinforcements none. Okay.
Right.
And these are the T1 layers.
T1s. So, the T1 catapults, I'm not too worried about. Taking a look at the T1 mounted, T1 ground, they seem. If I were to guess, they're going to be more on the ground heavy side as far as refines go. So then I would just kind of take a look at their upper layers again and see where I need to clear first.
Okay.
Going off of knowing that they have a lot of T1 mount, T1 ground. And instantly I see they got a lot of ground in there, so they seem pretty ground heavy. But I definitely want to clear out that siege first. So personally, as a team aspect, I would say definitely maybe I'd probably start off with maybe a T11 siege as a team rally, try and clear out that siege.
Okay.
And then after that, I mean, they don't have much cav. It seems like, they're very low on cav. So once you get through that T11, once you have your T11 rallies, possibly even a big siege into maybe a mounted rally, in my opinion. Because I think we could push through those archers pretty easily.
Okay. So this one you think would take multiple hits?
Yeah. So I would, me personally, I would suggest maybe a T11 and then just try and get through the upper tier siege there, and then a big siege to try and push through some more of the siege and the upper tier archers, and then head into it with maybe a cav.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you very much. Mystery YouTuber number 1. You look at this report. What do you think? Solo or rally?
Let's scroll up. What's the Monarch level? Okay, so Monarch 42. So I'm assuming it's probably, I guess I don't know the keep level, but I'm assuming it's, let's just assume it's a K42. It's got MA7. So that's still some pretty good buffs. But then when I saw the buffs down there, they didn't look very high. I'm definitely going to do a rally.
Okay. Let's have a look at the buffs. So these are the buffs that we have here.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they've got flats or just not they haven't done a lot of research, so those are pretty low.
Yeah, or maybe it's a lower keep level. Maybe it's like a 38 or a 39.
Yeah, that could be. So that's
Okay.
good. But I agree with YouTuber number 2. I would start off with some type of siege, whether that's a small siege or a big siege, to clear out those upper level siege. And again, depending on your team and your rally size, you're going to take out those upper level siege as well as maybe some of the archers. And I would probably, follow with a cav or a ground to clear them. It's probably a 2-tap for my team.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you guys. All right. Obviously, there are different levels of, there are different levels of alliances in the game. Some are stronger than others. Some are much stronger than others. Okay. For people that want to break this down, but their alliance cannot do siege, where do they start from?
I would definitely start with an arch. Typically, as a team, as you're starting out, you want to focus on one type of troop type that you want to work on as a team, and it's usually ranged. Range seems to be the most effective because you want to take out, the upper level range troops. So you're either taking out the ranged troops. You can also take out some of the siege with your ranged if you're strong enough. But it's obviously more difficult, and that's why we both, I think, chose the siege as the first rallies.
Okay. Mystery YouTuber number 2, anything you want to add to that?
I think I'm on the same level as kind of a mystery YouTuber number 1 here. It all depends on your team, and if you guys don't really have the siege to take care of it, your best option here might just be arranged on this, just to try and pick away some of the points.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that.
The one thing I'm noting though too is it looks like this person is hiding their T14 calves.
Yes.
So they might be anticipating that ranged attack, but I also think if you had approached it with a cav rally or a ground rally, you're going to splat. So I definitely would hit it with a range first, and then maybe another ranged, and then move from there.
Okay. I think that's fair enough. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Now we're going to the last report that we have for this session. Okay. And this is another interesting one. Here is the report. All right. Now, there's a timer on this one. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds. Mystery YouTuber number 2. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 5 seconds. Solo or rally?
Instantly rally. Have
Instantly
to
rally.
determine what kind of rally.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Mystery YouTuber number 1. 5 seconds. Solo or rally?
Rally.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Now, do you want to see the troops?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Before I show you the troops on this one, I'm going to let you guys know that this scout report is from a K35.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to scroll through the troops. Tell me when to stop. Okay?
All right. I see where this is going already. Oh my God.
You can probably stop.
I can stop here. What, you don't want to see the
The
rest?
only thing I'd want to make sure it wasn't a trap. So if there's reinforcements.
Okay, let me keep going. Let's go all the way down here.
Yep.
You see, this is what I say when people take shit too far.
For sure.
Okay, this a K35.
It's a beefy K35.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have no words. I saw this in SVS, I believe. And I was like, yeah, not touching this one. Okay. So let's scroll down. No reinforcements. Okay. So yes, would you attack this guy? Yes or no?
Not
Yes.
solo.
I would.
You would?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really?
I could clear this. Yeah. Pretty sure I could clear this with a cav or a ground.
Okay. One tap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I've got
that
a
scares me.
close to
that's
6
a lot.
million. I got
I mean,
close to
mystery
6
YouTuber
million
number
March
one.
size.
That's a
So.
lot of T1s you're going through there.
Bring it on.
Okay.
I love that answer.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, on a slightly more serious note, okay?
Yes.
We know we are in the age of the T1. Okay? We can't escape it, irrespective of how we feel about it. Love it or hate it. Okay? Everyone's got T1s. Right. So when you see a keep like this, is your inclination to attack or to leave it alone?
My inclination is to figure out what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I mean, I look
most
at
likely
this.
attack.
Yeah, I look at this and hardly any top tier troops. Everything just T1. And it's literally just screaming, come and attack me. So
are you? So put us in the situation. Are you speaking more along of SVS standards or Battlefield?
a bit of both. I think if it's SVS, I definitely would not touch this. Not even gonna waste my time with it. If it's Battlefield, I might. And that depends on the scores. That depends on how many troops I still have. That depends on how bored I am. Because sometimes you're in Battlefield and you're just like, man, we've won this already. There's nothing to do, and then you see the T1 guy and like, okay, let me go have some fun with that guy.
Right.
So okay, what about you guys? What do you think? Mystery YouTuber number one. What do you think? Would you be seriously inclined to hit this?
Well, and maybe not. I would be a little bit cautious because of exactly what you said. They're clearly set up to try to bait you into a solo because everyone thinks they can just plow through those T1s at the bottom because they don't have upper layers.
Yeah.
I'd be inclined to figure out if they're actually ghosting a march or two of the T14s and 13s because they can easily mask that and create, presets to ghost. So yes, your inclination is right. This person, obviously, if they're sitting on bubble and SVS, everybody's trying to crack this code and figure out how to solo it, and they'll probably splat. So
okay, all right.
But back to my original, I think before on the T1, I would cav rally this and we would clear it.
Okay, all right, that's good. Mystery YouTuber number 2. If you were to rally this, what would you go with?
I would also go with the cav rally on this personally. Whether it is SVS or Battlefield, and during SVS, I would assume this person's more along the lines going to play the portal game. I mean, not the portal game. Sorry, the temple game, and just wait for the right moment to get your team ready to basically rally them as fast as you can. And then the same thing with Battlefield as well. I see this person more along the lines of a portal taker or building taker, and you'll have some pretty good opportunities if you just keep an eye on them and set rallies appropriately to their march times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's great. Thank you very much, guys. That is everything that we have for the reports that we're looking at. So I hope everybody enjoyed that, and you'd probably learned something from listening to the opinions of the people that we have here, which is great. Now, the question that you guys have all been waiting for. Mystery YouTuber number 1. Who are you?
I am El Jefe.
Okay, we have El Jefe in the house. El Jefe is in the house. And while we're on that, Mystery YouTuber number 2, who you is?
I am the Mr. Yours.
Oh, yes, we have Mr. Yours in the house. So please, guys, if you enjoyed that, give the video a thumbs up for Mr. Hefe and Mr. Yours. Okay? Now, if you want to know where to find these esteemed gentlemen, El Jefe, where can we find you?
I stream regularly on YouTube. I do Battlefields, Shallons, All Stars, and sometimes just hanging out and having some fun. I do a lot of live streaming. So I'm
Okay.
out on YouTube.
All right, that's good. That's good. Thank you. Mr. Yours, where can we find you?
You can find me being a degenerate T1 trap on YouTube as well. For a lot of the times during SVS and all battlefields.
Okay, all right, that's good. So I will have links to both El Jefe's channel and Mr. Yours channel in the description of this video. So guys, after you finish watching this, make sure you go and check them out, give them a thumbs up and show them some love. Thank you very much, guys. You are the first people I've had on the Red Evony channel. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your insights. Thank you guys very much.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure.
Yeah, lots of fun.
All right. That's it for us, guys. Thank you very much. And we're signing out.